Hi, store owners. Welcome back to the Savvy Shopkeeper Retail Podcast for another bonus episode. I've been doing these a little bit more lately. This one is really, really important. If you've ever thought, I feel like I should know what's going on in my business, but I don't, this one's for you. I want to tell you a quick story. Last year, a client came to me. They were ready to make big, exciting, strategic moves. They signed up for my retail profit program. They were ready to grow. They were ready to optimize, and they were ready to go for sure. But once we got into the numbers, it was like trying to build a second story on a house with no foundation. They didn't have clean financials. They had a messy inventory system, and they had no baseline to work from. So we actually pushed pause. Not because the client wasn't smart or because they weren't ready or they weren't already working hard, but because without a solid foundation, strategy won't stick. They needed what so many retailers need. I now know this from working with so many of you. They needed this before the growth, before the profit optimization, before the tools that I shared with them. They needed a reset. That's why I created a brand new live workshop called Retail Reset. If you've ever said to yourself, I think I'm making money, but I don't actually know where it's going. I don't have time to figure this all out, so I just avoid it. Or I'm not even sure what I should be tracking. Or even in some instances, people will say to me like, Kathy, I want to do this work. I want to participate in these programs, but I don't think I have everything I need. Then you are exactly who I had in mind when I built this. Retail Reset is for store owners who are ready to finally stop running their business on guesswork, crossed fingers, and that like little feeling or sometimes big feeling of panic at the end of each month. It's for store owners who want to grow, but deep down, they know they don't have the systems or structure to grow well. And let me be very clear here. This isn't about shame. It's not about what you should have done. It's about taking control now so the rest of your business finally starts making sense. So for this particular workshop, it doesn't matter if you haven't opened yet, if you just opened, or if you've been open for 10 years. It really doesn't matter. This isn't just a one-off class either. It's the first in a 3-part workshop series. So let me explain. Because I created this series after working with so many of you, like I mentioned. I realized there's a specific sequence that leads to clarity, confidence, and cash flow growth. And it has to start here with this first workshop. So here's the big picture view. Retail Reset is what I'm going to teach this year. It helps you lay the foundation. Then in 2026, I will teach the financial fix, where we really dig into cash flow clarity, and then category confidence, where it teaches you how to buy smarter with data you trust. Yes, an actual buying tool that tells you if you're over or under inventoried. It tells you what categories are draining or driving your business. But if you skip Retail Reset and try to jump into those what I call sexy workshops, then it won't work. You will stall out. Because both of those future workshops require at least 12 months of clean, organized, usable data. And I don't want you to miss out on those because you didn't start this step now. In this live Zoom workshop happening on Monday, July 14th, I will teach you 3 core areas every indie retailer needs to get in order. So, of course, we're going to talk about the financials, but I'm not going to teach you about the financials. We're going to talk about setting up your bookkeeping. This workshop is not a bookkeeping workshop. It's all the information that you need to know so that you can move forward and either get this set up in your business, get it cleaned up in your business, know how much you should be investing in this, because some of you are investing either nothing or you're like at this like extreme where you're overpaying for what the services include. You'll know what reports to expect and then how to finally stop avoiding your numbers. So again, I just want to be really clear here. This is very foundational. I'm also going to talk about point of sale and inventory data, like why inventory with costs, like adding everything into your inventory system with an actual cost, what you're paying for it, is non-negotiable. How to use your data, how to get real insights, and how to take control of what's sitting on your shelves. And then number 3 is money management. For example, like how to separate business and personal finances, because yes, this comes up often. Understanding the flow of money in your store and how to build the right habits so that you stop feeling broke even when sales are good. So in addition to the 90-minute live presentation, I will also do a 30-minute Q&A, but I will be giving bonuses with this workshop too. So the first one is what I'm calling a retail setup starter checklist. It's so that you can track your progress step by step in everything that I teach in this workshop, so that you can actually track, okay, I have these things done, and these are the other things that I need to work on. I'm providing you with a sample chart of accounts. This is the best version of the sample chart of accounts that I've ever created, so that you can understand why, the why behind your financial structure. Even if you use a bookkeeper, if you don't know what a chart of accounts is, don't worry about that. I'm going to cover it too. And then you're also going to get a set of interview questions. So whether you're hiring an accountant for bookkeeping or a CPA for taxes, you will feel in charge and not at the mercy of whoever's doing these financial services for you. It's going to set you up so that when you do go to hire, or if you're going to switch to a different bookkeeper, you have the questions to ask when you interview them, because I think that's incredibly important. The price for this workshop is $67. That is an introductory price. I want to be very clear. I will not offer this again at $67. I will offer the class again, most likely, but for this time, it is the lowest price at $67 because it's that important. It's that important for me to get as many of you signed up for this workshop, because it's the foundation that you need to work on, most likely that you're avoiding, that you're uncomfortable with, because the truth is staying stuck is already costing you. It's costing you peace of mind. It's the weight of feeling behind and overwhelmed. That is so burdensome. And I know this comes up over and over again. It's costing you sales you don't even realize that you're missing. It's costing you time. So much mental drama in your mind over and over and over again every month. Time you're wasting spinning your wheels on things that won't move the needle until this foundation is in place. And maybe most importantly, it's costing you the confidence to make smart, forward-moving decisions in your store. This is about putting you in the driver's seat of your business so that you can stop reacting and start leading. I want to say that one more time because I think it's really important. It's about putting you in the driver's seat. Not anyone else, not any of these other financial experts, not me. It's about putting you in that driver's seat so you can stop being reactive and start leading confidently. If you're in Master Shopkeepers, I already shared this in the group, but I want to make sure I mention it again because maybe some of you didn't see that post. You already have access to this entire series. It's the Cash Flow Clarity series in the group. You'll head to guide number 2 in the Facebook group to get started if this is something that you've been resisting, or you just had a season in life the past few months and you weren't able to stay on top of it. I completely understand that. I just want you to know that it's all organized for you step by step. But if you're not in Master Shopkeepers, then this is your chance to get this foundational piece before the next 2 workshops drop in 2026. And then you're kicking yourself for not being ready. I promise you, this is the class that will put you in a position to be ready for all the things I teach and all the things I offer. And I want to say this too, because I completely understand this. When we open our stores, we don't open our stores to become finance pros or systems experts. We open stores because we love the creativity, the product, the people, the passion. But running a store without structure eventually leads to burnout. And the fix isn't more hustle. It's just a better setup. So I want to share some stories with you of all the successes that my one-on-one clients and group members have been experiencing from doing this work with me. So I have one client who was struggling with clarity. And when I say clarity, it's just like the overall topic. They didn't have a solid foundation. They weren't using data to make decisions. And when I first started working with them, they were about $350,000 in annual revenue. This year, they're on track for $1 million. I have another client whose discounting habits were wiping out any kind of profit and showed a net loss every month until we started working together. Now, for the past 12 months, they're showing a net profit. They have shown a net profit 11 out of the 12 months, with a few months showing more than $10,000 in net profit just in a month. So it was like 4 to 5 figures net profit every single month. And this particular client has wiped out $60,000 in debt, again, in 12 months. I have another client generating less in revenue, so less in top line income, but way more in profit and peace of mind. This is a reminder for all of you who are so focused when you open up your point of sale app and you're so focused on what was the revenue made that day or that week or that month. Top line revenue can be a bit of a vanity metric when everything else in your business is crumbling. So I want to just stop focusing on top line revenue. I also have multiple clients who are all up either 10% or more this year, and some are up as much as 40%. It's because they're all making data-driven decisions. They're using their bookkeeping data and their inventory data in a way that makes sense to allow their business to grow versus making all those decisions that we make from emotion or intuition. And I want to say this too. For those of you who have like a natural talent with numbers and a natural talent with buying, this isn't for you, right? Like for those of you that applies to, your business is performing well, you don't have any issues with this. There are a handful of people in Master Shopkeepers that applies to, that they're in the group membership for a variety of other reasons because we cover so much more. But for those of you that you're kind of stuck and you're not sure what's going on in your business and you can't identify what the problems are, that's who this workshop is for. Retail Reset is not about analyzing reports or digging into deep financials. Retail Reset is about setup, cleanup, and getting your business on solid ground so you can finally see your numbers, track what matters, and make better decisions in the future. We are taking this one step at a time so that you are not overwhelmed. You'll understand if I'm teaching 3 workshops and I'm not teaching 2 until 2026, it's very clear that I'm taking my time with this so that I don't overwhelm you. You can do this, regardless of what your mind is telling you right now. I've seen clients go from total overwhelm to full-on clarity, and not because they became accountants overnight, but because they got the right help in the right order. That's the key here. So Retail Reset is that first step. If you'd like to sign up, you'll go to savvyshopkeeper.com and you'll see Retail Reset in my main menu, or you can go to savvyshopkeeper.com/retail-reset to sign up. We're going live on July 14th, and the cart to this workshop closes on July 11th. When you sign up, you'll get a 90-day access to the replay too. But I will encourage you to show up live because I see the power of showing up live. And there's also the opportunity to ask me questions. If you're not on live, you can't ask all the questions that you're most likely going to have. So let's reset the foundation so everything else can finally start working. I will see you there. And again, I'm going to give the link one more time, savvyshopkeeper.com/retail reset. I also want to mention that if you have questions, DM me on Instagram. My username is @SavvyShopkeeper. I answer all questions on Instagram. And I know some of you are going to have questions regarding this. You're going to wonder, is this really for me? Am I really going to make progress? The one thing that Master Shopkeepers members tell me, and somebody just said this the other day, they said, I love the way you teach. I love the way you teach us. It's almost like I know how their brains work. It's because it's how my brain works too. So I can't stress it enough how important this is. If you feel like all the numbers in your business are either messy or you need some clarity, you need some guidance, you want to know how many categories to set up. Why do you need that number of categories? You want to understand, well, why are these financial reports so important? And I can't stress it enough that you don't need to understand everything right now. What you need to do and what you need to understand is that the foundation is incredibly, incredibly important. So I hope to see you on July 14th.